Welcome back to my channel. Have you ever noticed how certain trends, behaviors, or technologies seem to explode out of nowhere? A forgotten shoe brand suddenly becomes fashionable, crime rates in a major city plummet overnight, cell phones go from luxury to necessity in just a few years. What if I told you that all of this follows the same hidden pattern? In this video, we will explore Malcolm Gladwell's powerful idea from the book The Tipping Point, a book that reveals how small changes at just the right moment can create massive, often unstoppable social epidemics. So let's dive in. This is the fourth video on the book of Malcolm Gladwell's The Tipping Point. So, we tend to think of contagiousness only in terms of biology, like the flu, colds, or even something deadly like HIV or Ebola. But Gladwell asks us to reimagine the world through the lens of contagion. If disease can spread rapidly through contact, why not ideas, fashion, technology, or even crime? Contagiousness is not limited to viruses. It exists in behavior, in emotion, in influence. And the moment when all of this reaches a critical mass is what Gladwell calls the tipping point, the exact moment when everything changes. To show how surprising and invisible contagion can be, Gladwell gives a fun but powerful example: yawning. You have probably already yawned just by hearing the word a few times. Yawns are contagious visually, orally, and even emotionally. Seeing someone yawn or even reading the word can make you yawn. Hearing a yawn works too, even for people who are blind. It's a perfect metaphor. Some things spread far more easily than we realize, and understanding that is the key to seeing the world differently. The second big principle of the tipping point is this: small changes can have huge effects, but this goes against how we are trained to think. We are used to believing that the size of an effect should match the size of the cause. If you want to express love, you do it with intensity. If you want to deliver bad news, you choose your words carefully. But Gladwell gives a stunning mental exercise. Fold a sheet of paper 50 times. How thick would the final stack be? You might guess a phone book or refrigerator. But the truth, it would reach the sun. Fold it one more time and it reaches the sun and back. That's the power of geometric progression. The same principle behind viral growth, social epidemics, and the tipping point. So exactly, so what exactly is the tipping point? It's the boiling point, the threshold, the critical mass. It's the moment at which an idea, behavior, or product crosses a line and suddenly, rapidly spreads like wildfire. For example, in the 1980s, Sharp sold only 80,000 fax machines. Over the next few years, usage slowly grew. Then in 1987, boom, the technology hit its tipping point. 1 million machines were sold in a single year. 2 years later, 2 million more machines. Cell phones followed the same pattern, so did Hush Puppy's shoes, and so did the dramatic drop in crime in New York City in the 1990s. These shifts are not linear, they are exponential. And once they pass that invisible threshold, everything changes. Let's look at a fascinating real world cases. Number one is the drop in crime in New York City. Many believe crime declined because of massive reforms. But in truth, small targeted changes like cracking down on fare evasion and fixing broken windows spread across the city like a behavioral virus. Soon, entire communities started behaving differently. It was not a mass change in morality, just a few key shifts that tipped the culture. The second example is the rise of hush puppies. A nearly dead shoe brand made a huge comeback in the 1990s, not because of marketing, but because of a few fashionable kids in Manhattan started wearing them. Within months, major designers picked up the trend. Soon hush puppies were everywhere. All it took was 20 to 50 people starting a spark. The third example is technology adoption. The fax machine and cell phones did not start with huge demand, they grew slowly, then suddenly became must-haves as soon as enough people were using them. That's the tipping point in action. Tipping points just Tipping points don't just lead to positive change, they can also signal collapse. Sociologist Jonathan Crane studied how the number of role models in a neighborhood affects teenagers. As long as there are 5% or more high status adults, for example, teachers, professionals, etc., things stay stable. But once that number drops below 5%, dropout rates and teen pregnancies double, social control collapses almost overnight. This is not a slow decay, it's a social epidemic tipping into dysfunction. The unexpected the unexpected world we live in, we like to think that change is slow and predictable. But Gladwell argues that the world we actually live in is full of tipping points. It's a place where tiny actions taken by a few at the right moment can ignite something huge. Think of a puppy discovering snow for the first time. It was just a few degrees colder than rain, but suddenly everything changed. The world was transformed. This is the world of the tipping point, a world of radical, sudden, contagious change. In this world, we are not just observers, we are participants. Gladwell leaves us with two powerful questions. Number one, why do some ideas, products, or behaviors spark epidemics while others don't? The second question is how can we start and control positive epidemics of our own? In the future videos, we will dive deeper into the three types of people who create these tipping points: mavens, connectors, and salesmen, and how they help shape the world around us. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's keep exploring of science of influence, behavior, and transformation, one tipping point at a time. See you in the next one.